So if you're looking to buy property in Perth, Western Australia, and you're not a citizen of Australia, then there's some important things you need to know. So keep watching. Hi, I'm Simon Atkins, your brand new apartment specialist, helping you buy, invest, and relocate to Perth. If you'd like to book a phone consult with me to help with anything to do with buying a brand new apartment in Perth, then contact me on my details below in the description. So in Western Australia, foreign buyers face certain additional requirements and processes compared to local citizens when purchasing property. So I'm going to tell you what the key differences are and the steps a foreign buyer must follow. So only Australian citizens, permanent residents and New Zealanders can buy property without the FIRB process that I'm about to go through with you. So if you're a temporary resident or a non-resident, then you need to do the following. So first of all, the Foreign Investment Review Board. That's step number one. You need to apply as a foreign buyer to the Foreign Investment Review Board before purchasing residential real estate. Okay, so this applies to both individuals and companies. So the foreign buyer must apply to the FIRB providing details about the property and the buyer themselves, and the FIRB will assess whether the purchase aligns with Australia's foreign investment policies. And I've seen these applications done in one day, literally a day, or it can take a few weeks. So there is a fee attached to this. It's got nothing to do with buying the property. This fee is for the application, which you pay up front. So for residential real estate, it ranges from $14,700 up to the first million. Between $1 million and $2 million, it's $29,500, and it goes up like that. The fee kind of doubles every $1 million band that you go into. So I'll put these in the comments section below so you can see, and you'll have a clearer idea of those rates. So just to be clear, this fee is paid when you make the application for foreign investment approval. Okay. So when you apply to the FIRB, you need to have a contract drawn up for a property that you intend to buy. And that's because they're approving the property specifically and not approving you to go out and buy any property that you want. Okay, so you'll have to have a contract and likely have paid a deposit as part of that contract. So I've done a few of these contracts and FIRB purchases, and the contract allows for you to get the deposit back if you don't get the approval that you're looking for. You just get your deposit back. Okay. So types of properties foreign buyers can purchase, there's restrictions on that, and you can only buy new residential properties or vacant land on which you're required to build a new home. So generally foreign buyers are not allowed to buy established homes unless they meet specific criteria such as a temporary resident or planning to develop or renovate the property. So foreign purchaser stamp duty is also another thing to consider. So the FIRB fee is an Australian government fee, whereas stamp duty or transfer duty, as they call it now, is a state tax. So the amount of foreign investors must pay is a 7% duty surcharge on the property price in addition to the standard stamp duty rate. So that's a surcharge, 7%. So the standard stamp duty rate depends on the purchase price of the property. It ranges from 1.9 up to about 5 or just over 5%, and the foreign buyer would pay this amount plus the 7% surcharge. Okay, so there's plenty of stamp duty calculators online for Australian properties, but I'll give you an example here. If the property costs, say, $500,000, and the standard stamp duty would be approximately $15,000. A foreign investor would then pay an additional 7% surcharge on the property value, which would then be $35,000. Making the total stamp duty cost a total of $50,000. So there is one kicker here, in that when you buy a brand new apartment, such as the stock I have available, the West Australian government is currently offering concessions on stamp duty, i.e. a discount. So the concessions are either a pre-construction apartment, i.e. it hasn't started construction yet, or a different set of discounts or concessions if the development has started construction. So these concessions are effectively for new apartment builds only. Okay, so for a foreign buyer to qualify for these concessions, on stamp duty or transfer duty as it's called now, and they get claimed by your settlement agent when you actually settle and buy the property. So they'll reduce the amount of stamp duty that you have to pay. The key thing is to remember though that these concessions are only on the initial rate of stamp duty that all citizens pay, all Australian citizens pay, and not on the extra 7% that you pay as a foreign investor. So I'll also put the concession rates down in the description below because they're a sliding scale as well. So one or two other costs that are applicable to both foreign and local buyers but still need to be considered are conveyancing fees. So the conveyancer or settlement agent, as we call it over here, for the transfer of property ownership, typically charge between $800 and $2,000, and that's when you settle on the property. And the title registration fees for registering the title of the property, which can be several $100s. So those fees, all these fees are done at the end. So summary of for a foreign buyer to purchase property in Perth is that the FIRB approval is required with a fee paid at application. Okay, they won't look at it if you don't pay the fee up front. Foreign buyers are limited purchasing new properties or vacant land to build a new home. And of course, the higher stamp duty that I mentioned, which the foreign buyers surcharge of 7%. And you can claim concessions on the normal rate of stamp duty, which I just mentioned. So I'll put another couple of links in the description below. One for more info on the FIRB application and another regarding the stamp duty or transfer duty as it's called now, just to confuse you. But that's it for now. If you'd like to reach out to book an appointment with me, we specialise in brand new apartments in Perth. My contact details are below the contact details in Perth. My contact details are below the video.